Hello, my name is John Joseph Concannon. I am a member of the Southeastern Carpenters Regional Council, United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America, Lexington, North Carolina, Local 312. I am a UBC carpentry instructor at Schenck Job Corps in the Pisgah Forest, North Carolina. This video is the 8th and final lesson for the Workforce Education 105 Integrated Curriculum Implementation Workshop. We will be discussing air purifying respirators. Today's date is December 28th, 2014. The lesson title is Fit Testing. Hello class, and welcome back from Christmas break. I hope you all had a nice holiday. I know I did. The house still smells like apple pie and cookies. Well, let's jump right back in with a quick refresher. Everyone should have their booklets, their 1926 CFR, and their NIOSH Pocket Guide to Chemical Hazards in front of them. Good. Let's get started. Who here remembers when the OSH Act came into effect? 1970? That's correct. And what does Section 5 say? Yes, each employer shall furnish each employee a workplace free from recognized hazards, etc. Great. And who knows which subpart PPE in the CFR 1926 is in? Darby? Subpart E. You're all doing great. This stuff is so important. Now, let's focus on air purifying respirators. Turn in your CFR to subpart E, page 144, 1910.134. Respiratory protection. Air purifying respirators remove specific air contaminants. Air contaminants are called atmospheric hazards. According to CFR 1926, subpart C, confined spaces, atmospheric hazards account for 56% of fatalities in confined spaces. In 1931, in the Hawks Nest Dam in West Virginia, nearly 400 workers died of silicosis in less than 21 months. And just in case you're thinking that was a long time ago, one of my instructors at the Willamette Carpenters Training Center in Oregon was diagnosed with chronic silicosis. He was a bridge carpenter who knowingly opted not to use a respirator when cutting concrete with a masonry saw daily for years. At the time of his instruction for me, he couldn't walk up a flight of stairs to get to the second floor classroom because of shortness of breath. Class, this subject is very serious. Now, look here at this construction report. According to OSHA, a written respiratory program will be in effect whenever a known atmospheric hazard is present. This report will indicate the proper training, PPE, and procedures necessary to perform the work safely. If this report is for mold abatement using chlorine, then we will be using the 3M7501 half-face respirator with the 3M60923 organic vapor acid gas cartridges. Go ahead and take it out of its bag. The first thing before working with respirators is getting the proper training for dealing with the contaminated types and concentrations. When talking about concentration, OSHA uses the acronym PEL, or Permissible Exposure Limit. Secondly, the worker must be medically evaluated for any health concerns such as emphysema or high blood pressure prior to working with APRs or air purifying respirators. And third, fit testing, which is what we will now focus on. First, we will inspect the respirator and cartridges for damage or wear. The silicone should be clean and flexible. The straps and buckles in proper working order. And the cartridges in good condition and installed properly. Second, we must observe certain hygiene and grooming practices to ensure a proper seal. The mask must be airtight, and therefore any facial hair, heavy scarring, or the like, which would prevent an airtight seal, must be remediated in order for the APR to function properly. We will now don our masks, tightening the straps as necessary. You'll need to take off your hard hat and glasses. Just make sure you put them back on before you get to work. Go ahead and put the face mask over the nose and mouth. Install the head strap. And buckle the neck strap. Go ahead and tighten the straps. Finally, we will perform the qualitative, negative, and positive pressure test. The negative, you put your hands over the cartridges and inhale. There shouldn't be any air leaks. The positive, you put it over the exhalation valve. Once again, no air leaks. Go ahead and take the mask off. Once you've figured out that the seal test is good, you want to go ahead and properly clean and store your mask. Go ahead and replace any cartridges as necessary. Typically they last about a single work shift. Some of them a little bit longer depending. Some of them more frequently. I have a welder in the family, and if he's working in confined space, he'll take his off and replace them several times a day. There are additional tests that may be performed. The test may be classified as qualitative. Qualitative tests may involve using chemicals such as saccharin, which has a sweet taste, Bitrix, which has a bitter taste, or irritant smoke, which would cause coughing. Are there any questions? Yes, there are full-faced APRs. They are usually used when the PELs are up to 50 times the limit. A few types are powered air purifying respirators and SCBAs, or self-contained breathing apparatus. Thank you. This concludes my presentation.